Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the SC1 Factory. We're Dr. Dondi and Marcy Nettles. Marcy is remote from Tucson. I'm here in Surprise, Arizona, in Marcy's room, as you can see. And we apologize for getting a slight late start today. We had some technical difficulties, so I had to email Marcy the presentation, and she's loading it. She'll be advancing the slides, but welcome everybody. We're super excited, and this is the end of the first month. So we're starting the second month of the SC1 Factory Zoom calls. And remember, this is going to go for 6 months. So there is a strategic plan that we've got in place for 6 months of massive growth and expansion. So we are starting today. Do you want to go ahead and run the slides, babe? Can you go to the next
Yep.
one? So we're kind of recapping month one and where we started. In other words, the basic foundation to these SC1 or to building an SC1 factory, first yours and then replicating that. And the journey begins now. So welcome everybody. We're so excited that you are here. This is being recorded like all of the others. And tonight's celebration agenda, we're going to be celebrating your transformation because I don't know whether you realize it quite yet, but there's been a lot of things that you've been exposed to in the last 5 weeks, and now being week 6, you've grown tremendously. You've got some great ideas on warm market, cold market, internet, social media, stuff like that, digital invitations, and we're going to go through and review how we started this. So again, 5 weeks ago, or 6 weeks ago, tonight, review the ITT system foundation. That's kind of what this is all about. Our first week was the ITT system mastery, the invite tool team. And beyond that, invite tool team, where we're going to go green and build a team. In other words, get to the Emerald Seller rank and then build a team, ultimately creating an SC1 factory. Week 2, if you remember, we kind of went over the Team Freedom Reigns philosophy, the culture, the community, what we're trying to establish here, and why we're doing this 6-month approach. And then week 3, the warm market gold mine. Everyone who knows your name, you recognize their face, friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, associates, things of that nature. Then week 4 was cold market. All the other 8+ billion people on planet Earth are literally the cold market. And then last week, we talked about the digital invitation revolution, how to go invite people on the platforms. We focused on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn last week. So you're not the same person who started this thing 5 weeks ago. I hope you know that. And every week builds on the week before, but welcome everybody. So here's the review, the ITT system foundation. In other words, why this whole thing works. This is the inner gears of this entire system and how this works. The invite, sharing the products and opportunity with your prospects, however you choose to do that, whatever market you're in, cold, warm, or digital, and how you do that based on your comfort zone and your style. Then the educate and answer questions or concerns with a tool and add value consistently. So this right here, the tool is literally the bridge between you getting burned out and frustrated because you're answering all the questions of your prospects and letting the tool do the heavy lifting. This is probably, and I've heard this by many leaders in the industry, this right here is probably the hardest lesson to learn, is just zip your lip and let the tools or your team do the heavy lifting. Do not answer questions of your prospects. And some people, no matter how many times you get told, they still do it. I remember Blue telling me over and over and over, you can't be the message. You have to be the messenger. That's what tools are created for. And then lastly, the team. Introducing your prospects to the team, understanding they got a support system. It's not just them. And for the support and to duplicate success, this system creates predictable results when followed consistently and will help you create SC1 factories. So the invite mastery recap, how far your inviting has come. Week 1, you learned the basics of inviting. Week 2, learned the TFR culture. Week 3, mastering warm market approaches. Week 4, conquering cold market conversations. Last week, digital invitation revolution, from semi-scared to confident inviters. How many of you, just at the thought of inviting, I remember me, it just literally made me shake in my shoes because I didn't really know much about this and I thought everybody would judge me. Well, guess what? Some people do, and that's okay. The people that won't are the people you're looking for. And the results, you now have multiple ways to invite effectively, and that's really what this thing is all about. And so the teaching evolution, your teaching skills have multiplied every one of you, I hope you know this. So what have you learned? Obviously, there's product education mastery and how do we use the ITT system to use the videos, use the resources to do the heavy lifting as it comes to our products, ideally your self-replicating website, story-driven presentations. Whose story? Your story. Your story is the most powerful story you know. Use it liberally. Objection handling with confidence, because you're not here to convince to people why they should buy your products, join your team, join our company, get involved in network marketing in the first place. That's not your job. Your job is to share. They will have objections. That's where the tool and the team come in. Let the team and the tools help you with overcoming concerns and objections. But value first conversations. Value to whom? Them, your prospects, because ultimately it's what your prospects are looking for that's really going to determine whether or not the information you share is going to land well with them. In other words, they're going to field it properly and be looking for it and be grateful, or whether they're no, back off. This is another one of those pyramid schemes. I don't want anything to do with it. That's when it's about them. And then platform specific messaging. We talked about that last week with Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So now you are teachers. You're not just consultants. You're teachers about this information, because the best teachers start out as what? The best students. And you guys have been phenomenal at that. So next slide, Marcy, if you would. So development training, building the next generation of leaders and ultimately the next generation of SC1 factory creators. So your training capabilities, onboarding new team members with the ITT system, sharing successful strategies with the tools, the team, and examples, your own examples. Share your story, share stories of people above you and their success stories. There's nothing really you can't share when it comes to a story, except don't fabricate. Use realistic stories. Mentoring through challenges. So challenges, campaigns with your team, helping your team overcome. Give them homework, give them assignments, give them reading, watch this video, get back to me. When they ask you a question, that's a great question. What do you think about it? So challenges, you don't give the information, you point to the information and you support. Creating duplication systems. That's where the system comes in. That's the ITT system. It is created to duplicate. So don't go reinventing the wheel, just share what we already have. And then leading by example, the best possible thing you can do to be successful in this business is to lead by example. You're not just building a business, you're building leaders and you're literally transforming lives all over the world. So follow the training. It's there for all of us. So week by week warriors, those who showed up every single week, perfect attendance champions. And I don't want to miss anybody, but there are several people that we see here every week. Dr. Pat, Teresa, Carol, Emmy, and Jill, and others. And so thank you guys all for getting on. It's important. It's important that you're consistent. It's important that you're leaning in, that you're wanting to learn. And we want to recognize that we see you. Marcy and I are just incredibly grateful for you, that you guys are checking in, that you're taking this seriously, that you're utilizing it, and you're getting on here on a regular basis. So kudos to you, because the thing about leadership and what duplicates leadership perfectly is leaders understand something, and that is consistency. And that consistency creates results. And I remember hearing somebody when they were asking me when I first got pitched this network marketing opportunity with LifeVantage, I had very, very scarce time in my calendar to fit this in. And they said it's better to do 15 minutes a day than it is to do 4 hours on a Saturday. And that really didn't make much sense to me, because 15 minutes a day doesn't add up to 4 hours. He said it's not the amount total, it's the consistency of your time. So consistency creates results more than anything else. And your commitment to grow inspires the entire team, especially those that are watching you. And I saw something on Facebook today that the people who are watching you the most are the ones who never comment, never like, and never share. And there's 10 times more of them than there are the people who share and comment and like. So your commitment inspires growth, your constant consistency, and is creating results. And a lot of times by the people who are watching you and you have no idea that they're doing so. And those are the people who need it the most. So transformation stories, real people, real results. The biggest transformations, when we've gone from, oh my gosh, I can't do this, to I feel like the best version of myself. There's been so many times over the last 16 plus years where Marcy and I will share with somebody and something transformational happens. In fact, I just talked to I didn't even told you this, Marcy. I talked to Dr. Ron Nathanson today, who has one of his patients who's been on the True Science liquid collagen for about 6 months. The guy's 68 years old, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he's 68 years old, has bad knees, and was told he had that disease where your hands start to shake and the tremors. And Michael J. Fox is the biggest spokesperson for this disease, and I'm not making any claims here. But Dr. Ron told me that nothing really happened for the first 3 months. And on the fourth month, this guy's knee pain was completely gone. And the guy's got bone on both knees. So it's incredible. It takes time, in this case, 4 months. And now he's walking around pain-free with no surgical procedures, which they told him he would have. And he said it for another couple months. And he says, now, he goes, I hadn't even thought about it, Dr. Ron, but the tremors I used to have in my hands, I no longer have. And I don't remember what the blood test was. It was 3 initials, and forgive me for not knowing, because Dr. Ron was sharing this with me. Super excited today. But the measure of his score, these things in people with the P word, I'll just mention it, Parkinson's. We're not making any claims here, but people with Parkinson's, whatever this blood value is, it never, ever, 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 ever goes up. It always goes down as it declines and people get more overcome with the disease, which is progressive, it's degenerative, and it is in the mind, and it affects the brain. Well, this guy, not only did the numbers not go down, they skyrocketed. And the doctor literally that's been treating him doesn't know what to do. And this guy, all he was on was True Science Liquid Collagen and Protandim NRF2. And so the doctor's freaking out, the patient's freaking out, Dr. Ron's freaking out, he's sharing with me, and I'm freaking out. So now it's just, this is the kind of things. The biggest transformations come from consistency and their stories. The stories inspire other people to do things, especially when you don't think it's working, and the patient says it's not working, I'm not feeling anything. Month 4, bam. Massive change. Month 6, bam, another massive change that he didn't even see coming. So stories, biggest transformation. So I want to actually unmute. If you guys have a story to share, either about a product, what you've been learning in these last 5 weeks, a story of someone on your team, whatever, please share, because it's encouraging to all of us to hear stories, because stories are incredible. What do they say? Facts tell, stories sell. So if you've got a story, go ahead and unmute yourself and please share. Anything, any kind of story.
You know, one of the things that I love is a lot of the times people don't think that their story is important enough to share. And yet, what I will tell you is that your small story that you may have experienced could be exactly what someone else is looking for. People have told me, it's like, well, I don't have a story like your story, Marcy. And I'm like, well, how many people have been in a car accident like I was, had a brain injury like I had the spine surgeries I had, and tried to take their life 4 times? Not very many. So my story may seem really awesome, but it doesn't relate. And so keep in mind that the small changes that you're noticing with your activation journey are the same changes that millions and millions of other people wish they had. So keep in mind, your small story is really important and can impact a lot of lives.
So true. So good. Yes, absolutely, Marcy. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anybody got a story? And no pressure, no rush. I mean, you're not being put on the spot. Don't feel rushed. That's okay. All right. Well, let's go to the Carol unmuted. Go ahead, Carol.
Well, all right. My story is a little bit different, but I have a new consultant who was on the MB, the healthy something stack. Anyway, she had the MB and the fat burn and that. Well, 2 days ago, she said, I want to keep taking all of this, but I really want to add the collagen and one other one, because I just know that I'm supposed to be taking those things and they're going to make a difference. So just by sharing with her ongoing information of what these things do, she's got people looking at that. We have to often get her and I get on customer service, which is amazing. But Natalie walked us through helping her fix up her subscription so she could add the collagen and the other thing. My mind's blank, but anyway, to me that's a big thing. And she's also got a daughter who's looking at the Axial for her daughter, and that all comes with sharing information with my consultant who has in turn shared it with her
And
daughter. So
that's fantastic, Carol. That's a great story and such a great victory. Congratulations. Looks like we've got Dan. You want to unmute?
Yeah, so I have a customer of mine that is my best friend I grew up with. And in the beginning, just to even talk about this, it's like, no. And he's always looking to be healthy. He works out 4 times a week, and we're both, just about 70. And he takes all kinds of supplements for, his health. And when I told him about this, no. Well, he apparently researches things. So he looked up our company and saw something that happened, 10 years ago about it and all that. So I started sending him things a little bit at a time. He finally got on the Protandim and 10 bottles of liquid collagen, 1 every 3 days. And he hasn't marked on the calendar and all. And he started taking this. He has said to me over this past year, I'm not sure that it really is doing anything for me, but I'm supporting you. And I go, hey, I appreciate it. I says, and I'm happy for your health because of it, in my belief. And not saying that it fixes anything. And so he's checking out NAD and asks me about NMN. Well, here I find out with our last Wednesday wellness thing that NMN is like 1 step below our NAD product. That is an activator, not a supplement. And well, he figures, oh, I'll get online and check things. He calls me up 2 weeks ago and says, hey, I was checking on this NMN and you should check it out, your competition and all this kind of stuff. And he goes, I looked on your site and so I'm ordering to try Synergizer now. And I was like, holy crap, this is Paul. And so he canceled the Protandim in order to try Synergizer. He says, but I might stop taking the liquid collagen. And I said, no problem, but I wouldn't. So he didn't. He's still doing that.
That's
And
fantastic.
so it was great to just keeping in touch. And he went on the Wellness Wednesday thing. And I saw him on the text. Oh, this is that. Oh, yeah. And then before it was all over, when it was close to the end, he says, I'm out of here. And people were answering him, and it was weird, but it was exactly what he was talking to me about a week ago. And they're making the answers. And yet he's argumentative about it. So I'm like, okay. But I think he realizes that it's better. Oh, he called me up and says, I forgot to tell you, my arthritis in my wrist and elbow working out has stopped since I've been on this stuff with you. So it's amazing how people are.
Yeah.
Seriously. Sometimes it's hard to admit that your friend was right. So that is fantastic. And both of you in your stories, you and Carol, was that you were consistent in sharing information and consistent in your approach with your friend and your consultant. So consistency, like Dondi said, is so important.
So good. So good. All right, go ahead. Next slide, Mars. So leadership emergence. So whether you realize it, leaders are being born every day and you are being grown into a new leader every single day. And you're getting further and further along the leadership process. So emerging leaders, you are all emerging leaders, whether you accept it or not, realize it or not, want to admit it or not, you are. And people are looking to you, and I'm hoping that you're starting to feel some momentum in that direction. But helping other team members is really the entire thing about leadership and why it matters so much and why LifeVantage is doubling down so much with things like the summit, It used to be the Pro 5 Summit. Now I think it's the Momentum Academy. What I forget what it's called, but now, but the new thing that used to be the old Pro 5 Summit, leadership and pouring into new leaders is critically important. And it's one of the greatest things to guarantee the future leaders in this business, especially here at LifeVantage. Sharing in team groups, another form of leadership. Sharing your stories. Your stories are, again, are a very, very powerful growth summit. Thank you, Marcy. And taking initiative, challenging yourself, holding yourself accountable, high-fiving yourself and moving through, especially when you're feeling opposition or you're feeling tired or you're feeling worn down or you're questioning it, you're feeling apprehensive. That's exactly when you should take initiative, because that's when you're going to get the greatest confidence. Supporting teammates, very, very important. An accountability partner, a support team. That's why the ITT, the team part of the system, works so great. Leading by example, we've already talked about that. And the future of our team is in great hands. The future of your team is in great hands because it's in your hands. And I want you all to take on the level, own the level of leadership, step up and say, this is me. I want this. I'm going to follow the leaders and they're going to follow. Other people are going to follow me. That's kind of the greatest strategy to have. So emerging leaders, you are leaders, you're leading teams, whether they're now in the future or people or teams that are about to becoming part of your team, mentoring them. That's all. You guys are all doing that wonderfully well.
And one of the things I want to say about that too, leading by example, when Dante mentioned that each one of you has people that are watching you, whether you're on social media and you're posting about your opportunity or our products or your lifestyle, or you're talking to people, in person, you have those people that are watching. And they may not be commenting, they may not be responding to you the way that we would love everybody to do. Yet, through your example, you are leading them closer and closer to understanding the importance of taking better care of themselves. So know that you are leading people that you don't even know that you're leading. So keep it up. Great job, guys.
So true. So true. So recommitment ceremony. So this is something I'm hoping you're all willing to do. Taking on this next month or next week is going to start the second month of this, taking it to the next level. So month 1 was your foundation, overcoming some of your hurdles, overcoming some of your upper limits, overcoming some of your own disbeliefs. And then month 2 is going to be about your acceleration. So it's the time now to recommit to your SC1 Factory vision with everything you've learned thus far. Be willing to implement it, be willing to continue learning, and who's ready to go bigger in month 2? I hope every one of you is well, you're all here, and I hope every one of you are going to raise your hand, keep getting on these on a weekly basis, keep putting what you're learning into implementation, and watch the next month of your growth in your business start to accelerate as your future becomes brighter and your success in this business starts to really take off.
Yeah, and a challenge for each and every one of you is invite someone to hop on the call next week too. So let's start growing this call, and it starts through your leadership, your example, and your invitation. So let's get more people on this call.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Marcy. All right, so what is the commitment? What does it look like? What are the requirements for you in month 2? First of all, just pledge that you're going to commit. You're going to commit to your own growth. You're going to commit to mentoring people as they follow you and they want the same kind of growth. You're going to commit to showing up to these trainings. So attend every one of these training sessions. Implement every strategy that's taught. Now, you don't have to do it all at once. Sometimes there's a lot of information. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but you've got 7 days in between each, or 6 actually, in between each of these. So put maybe something new every day as you learn it. And the thing with learning new skills, the more you do it, the more habitual it becomes. They say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So start doing all of these, commit to it, train every time, come to the sessions, implement it, and then support your team members. Like Marcy said, invite someone on your team to get on the call with you. Measure and track your results. You've got a back office that does that for you. Share your wins and your challenges, whether it's publicly on social media and the Team Freedom Reigns Facebook page, however it is, just make sure that you are sharing your wins and challenges and your challenges. So not just your wins, because people want to know other people are having challenges. Because they don't want to see, a lot of times, and this is one of the worst things you can do on social media, Only talk about your victories. Now, they're the most important. You feel great about them, but share your challenges too, because you will influence more people with your vulnerable revealing of your challenges than you will with your successes, because sometimes your successes intimidate other people. Sometimes if they're not having successes, they actually start to resent themselves. They get down on themselves, and vulnerability and challenges are incredibly eye-opening for other people because they know that they're not the only ones that are going through it. So share your wins and your challenges. And the ITT system execution. Follow the system. Don't reinvent the wheel. Follow the system. It's there for you. Find it, do it every time, and utilize it. And then your personal development. Continue to always grow. Always grow. Whether you're reading a book, listening to a podcast, whatever the case, following someone on social media and doing what they're doing, whatever it is, just continue to self-develop. And then consistent action taking. Your CTA, your call to action, that you're doing something every day. That's what commitment looks like. That's the pledge to yourself, your future leadership, your future team, and the leaders that you will be influencing accordingly. And I know it's a given, Marcy. I don't have to tell you, but jump in anytime you want to add some things to this.
Thank you.
So your individual goal setting. Goals are critically important. Your personal month 2 targets, what are they? So set your numbers. How many new product customers do you want? How many new team members do you want? How many rank advancement goals on your team? You're starting with yourself. How many do you want on your team? Personal volume target. What's your volume target at the end of the next 4-week cycle of this? And what is your income goal? Look at that income disclosure statement, figure out where you are, what you want in the next month, and go obviously to the end, or go to your ultimate goal, whatever that is. So you're constantly dangling that carrot for yourself, but make yourself goals, write them down, and share them with an accountability partner. So one of the most powerful things you can do when you're trying to grow a team, find someone who's about the same level as you, or maybe a little bit up, so you can kind of challenge them. If you're at the same level, you can challenge each other. If your accountability partner is a little ahead of you, they can challenge you, and you're going to try to go after their goals. And then maybe you have somebody you are accountability partner to, who's a little lower to you. So you're helping them, and your accountability partner is helping you. Set strategic relationships like that. They are very, very beneficial.
So right now I want to catch some of you, because you may be thinking, but I haven't enrolled anybody in a while. I don't know that I can. How about we shift our paradigms and we shift our thinking? Think about it this way. I may not have enrolled anyone in the past several months, but this month I am going to be able to, because I am going to follow the system, the things that I've learned over the past 4 or 5 weeks, and I am going to utilize my team appropriately in getting those new customers and the new consultants. So shifting your thoughts around it, shifting the way that you look at it, is going to be able to change everything for you. So working on changing the way that you're looking at things, and you're going to change the way everything works out.
So good. All right, so team goals. Collective SC1 factory targets. What are your team goals for month 2? New product customers, double your month 1. New team members enrolled on your team, double it. However, whatever the goal is, it's your goal uniquely. Team members advancing in ranks, total team target volume. Leaders complete advanced training. So the key here is your goals are your goals. Make them as high as you want, but make them realistic. Because that's the thing. If you make them too high, what we call a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, even if you don't hit it, you still make major progress. Make your goals small, make some small goals, some middle-sized goals, and some large goals, so you're constantly moving towards something, because together we can't achieve anything so long as we're working together, we're following a system, and we're trying to hit the goals that we've established for ourselves and our teams. And that's really the only way this thing works.
Yep. So start with the end in mind. What do you want out of this opportunity? And that can be your BHAG goal. But then figure out what I need to do each month to be able to achieve that big goal. And then each day of those months, what do I need to be doing on a regular, consistent basis in my activities and my skills to be able to accomplish that big goal? So just break it down into bite-sized pieces, and then make sure you celebrate every single win.
Yes, yes. So vision casting, your SC1 factory momentum, the momentum is building. I hope you can feel it because it is. And all of you, I can hear it in your voices. I can see it in your activity. You're showing up here, you're engaging, you're asking questions, you're putting things in the chat. That's how you can tell when someone's got momentum, they've got confidence, their skill set is growing, and as a result, so is the momentum in their team. So what are we trying to create here? We're trying to create multiple income producing teams. So we've got legs, or what they call sources, whatever that is, however big you want to build your team. Let's focus on the leadership that's going to attract those leaders, who will attract those leaders, who will attract those leaders. And that's how your business gets duplicated. Systematic customer acquisition. So because we cannot build this business without customers, we're going to have more customers than consultants. We need them both, but people taking products is the only way that LifeVantage grows. And that's really what we should be focusing on. Leadership development too, the pipeline, constantly putting people into on an invite, on a video, getting them into it, get a tool in front of them, getting them on a team call, getting them on a Zoom, having a sit down one-to-one, whatever it is, constantly be doing the activities. Predictable monthly growth. How do you have predictable monthly growth? With predictable monthly action, because action and action and action is what leads to growth. Financial Freedom Foundation. So look at what it would be for you. When I remember when it was pitched to us, what is the exhale, what is your exhale number? Like when you make that much per month on the income disclosure statement, just allows you to exhale stress and not have to worry about finances anymore. And it's unique for every one of us, but find that number, whatever it is per month on that income disclosure statement, and then let your accountability partner know, let us know, so we can help you get there, because that's going to be your freedom when you get there. And your SC1 factory is becoming reality because it's growing, you're growing, your team is growing, your confidence is growing, and those are all things moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and we would love it if you guys would think on that. What is your financial freedom number when you look at the income disclosure statement? Send us a text or a message on Messenger. We want to know your number. We want to know what you're shooting for so that we can encourage you and so that we can help you along the way. But if we don't know what to be encouraging you for, right? So let us know what your number is.
And Carol asked in the chat, where do we get an income disclosure statement? It's actually in the resources. So if you scroll all the way down into resources, it's in there. It's in the hub too. So your SC1 factory vision, imagine your life in 6 months. Whatever it looks, your current life, wherever that is for you, what is it going to look like in 6 months? 6 months of activity, 6 months of predictable growth, 6 months of consistency, 6 months of action. Your financial picture, what does that look like? Consistent 4-figure monthly income, 5-figure, 6-figure, whatever that is for you, give yourself freedom to do that. Growing resident or residual income. So again, leveraged income, residual income, synonymous terms. The industry likes leverage, so I meant to change that, sorry for that, but multiple revenue sources. So whether you've got, we have those built into our comp plan. So it's that go emerald first, or go onyx first, and then emerald, and then sapphire, and then ultimately diamond. That's an income stream. Your seller title also is the bonuses. We've got multiple bonuses that are part of our compensation plan. That's your multiple revenue sources. Financial stress relief, that's that exhale factor. What is that for you? And then your lifestyle picture, whatever it is. And there's no wrong thing here, because more time freedom for you, you get to do whatever you want with it. And nobody should judge that. And then you're working from anywhere. That's the thing I love about network marketing is your paycheck follows you wherever you go, especially when you do it full time. You've got that flexibility, helping others succeed. There's a lot of people that show up to a 9-to-5 because they don't have another option. But if they did, they would probably opt out of it. They would love to work on their own time and do what they want, when they want, with the people they want, for as long as they want. Network marketing success allows them to do that. So build a legacy. Most legacies involve time and financial freedom. And LifeVantage, especially with our compensation plan and our wonderful evolved compensation plan, allows that to happen. There's lots and lots of people building wonderful legacies here at LifeVantage, and you could add yourself to that list. All right, so factory multiplication, from one factory to many, the multiplication effect. Your factory, and then you produce 2 to 3 leaders. Then their factories produce 2 to 3 leaders each. And then their factories 2 or 3 liters each. It's kind of like a drop in a pond where the concentric rings go out further and further and further as the ripple effect. And then the result is exponential growth, income, time freedom, financial freedom, and the other thing is physical freedom. There's so many people that are having challenges in their body that don't know about our products, that activation could change everything for them. And that is the driving force behind this entire comp plan, behind this entire company, behind this entire leadership strategy, is helping as many people get well on the inside at the cellular level and then stay that way. That is the biggest blessing that we have, and why it's such an honor for people to join this company, because there is true results that happen here. And then exponential growth in income. Month 2 focuses on multiplication, not just addition. So month 1, building that foundation, adding, and then as more people get added, those concentric rings get bigger and bigger, it starts to multiply. And then the momentum indicators, the signs of momentum are everywhere and they're building. Increased team engagement. It's like Marcy said, invite a team member to come on the call with you. So we start getting this call bigger and bigger and bigger, more consistent results, predictable results, growing confidence levels. Confidence is so critically important with building any business, especially when there is no's involved. The network marketing kind of has a disproportionate amount of no's, as you know, it's just like any other type of sales. It comes with a lot of no's, but for the people that let the no's run off their back, know that that is critical as far as building a successful business. So growing confidence comes from getting the no's. The more no's you get, the more yeses are lining up behind it. Improving your skill sets, so critically important. And LifeVantage is fantastic at that with all the trainings that we have. Stronger team culture. The teamwork makes the dream work. It's never been more true than right here at LifeVantage, and better retention rates. Because when people are joining something where they feel like they're doing it by themselves, there's a big attrition rate. When people join something new and they know they're being supported, there's a big retention rate. So the key thing here, and this is one of the greatest things, greatest lessons for leaders to learn, is that you can lead your own team, but you need to make it bigger than you, because you will find people on your team that don't resonate with your level of leadership. And Marcy and I call that being an umbrella. We support every level of leadership. So we have people that are personals to us that don't get on these calls. They're getting on someone else's call. That's fantastic, because maybe they resonate more with that kind of leadership. Maybe they resonate more with that kind of team, and that's fantastic. It doesn't matter to us where people go, so long as they're being supported. We have people that join, that call Marcy and I constantly, that are not on our team, but they just like our leadership style. It should never insult anybody when their team, especially if it's personals, goes somewhere else for leadership. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about what kind of leadership they need, because sometimes, as they say, you can't be a prophet in your own town. And sometimes relationships are too close. And so they need to go outside of that, or people are holding on too strong. Sometimes there's signals of that. So the better retention rates is something where allow your leaders to go where they want to go to be fed. As long as they're being fed, it shouldn't bother you. And then we're hitting all of these things. This is something I love about the team culture of LifeVantage. And so leaders love helping leaders, because our comp plan, our Evolve comp plan, rewards us to do that, which is why we don't turn away the opportunity to help anybody in this company, because the compensation plan rewards us for doing so. And I'm not saying we're only doing it for financial motivation, but when you love what you do and there's people that want help, whether it's from their own team or from you, give it to them and let your team members go elsewhere to get it. And I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but it's very important for success in network marketing, is for leaders to realize their flock, most of the time they'll stay with you, but sometimes they'll go somewhere else. And as long as they're getting fed, it shouldn't really matter. Where all of these are something with the momentum indicators, they're all strong here at LifeVantage. All right, so your month 2 advanced training previews. What's next in the next 4 weeks? So week 7, next week, is going to be tool power, making information irresistible. The ITT, the first T, tool, knowing what it is and making it irresistible, and that you want to get this information because you're excited to share them. Week 8, your product story magic, biohacking lives. One of the things that I love is biohacking is a term we didn't invent. Dave Asprey of Bulletproof Coffee fame invented the term, but it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more notable. And a lot of people are talking about it, and we kind of lead the way. Week 9, opportunity presentation mastery. So if you're not in front of the room, whether you've got or in front of a Zoom, you need to get up there, get that confidence, start sharing the information, because that's when your confidence is growing. It's where your team is going to grow, and then your people will follow you. And then week 10, the fortune is in the follow-up. One of the biggest misses in network marketing is lack of follow-up. And the worst part about that is when you don't follow up and then you see your former prospect walk into a room, an opportunity meeting with someone else, or worse yet, join someone else's team because that person reached out and followed up and you didn't. That's actually happened to us and it really hurts. So don't let that happen. And then if you're getting ready for the next level training, it's coming. Leveling up is going to be there. But this is what the next 4 weeks at a glance is going to look like. And then the last part of this, compound interest, the compound effect. Darren Hardy has a great book called The Compound Effect. Small actions equal big results when done consistently. So the math of success, month 1 is your foundation building. Month 2 is momentum creation. Month 3, which is going to be after that, is accelerating phase. Month 6 is life-changing results. And then month 12 is financial freedom when you do it right. Every day matters. Every action compounds. Every invite matters. Every person on your prospect list matters. Don't rule anybody out. Don't second guess, and don't withhold invites because you don't think they'll be interested, because I've done that too. And I've watched a prospect walk into a room as a guest of someone else, and the first thing I had to do was look at myself in the mirror because I prejudged them. Check your chicken list. Get in love with your chicken list and call your chicken list, because the big fish are on your chicken list. And this is one thing I know about entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are always, always, always looking for opportunities. That's what makes them entrepreneurs. And so don't prejudge them. Don't think they're too successful or got something else going on. Reach out to them and watch what happens. So support system strength, you're not doing this alone. You have a network. You've got a team that wants you to succeed, because that's also something that's important about network marketing. We as individuals cannot succeed unless our team succeeds. It is built in a strong support network. Weekly team training calls, daily team communication groups. Do that for yourself. Mentorship and coaching. Peer accountability partnerships. Have someone you are accountable to, and find someone you can be accountable to. And then company resources and tools. We've got weekly trainings. We've got obviously our momentum academies. We've got all the things. We've got conventions. We've got all those things. Get on and utilize as much of that as possible. And then your leadership guidance. Be the leader that others want to follow. Because together here at Team Freedom Reigns, in your individual organizations, together we are literally unstoppable. And that's the most predictable part of success in network marketing. Is strong support network is imperative. And when it's in place, we have ultimate success. So your why, this is something too, if you're getting a little discouraged or some of this is like, yeah, but it's just, I don't know, get back in touch with your why. Something that resonated with you when you first joined LifeVantage, get back in touch with that. Your family, financial security, whatever it is, time freedom goals, helping others succeed, your personal growth journey, whatever that is, legacy building, however you want your life to be like, breaking generational patterns or curses. And then when month 2 gets tough, and I capitalize when, because everything will always get tough. And when it does, remember your why. It's the one thing that if you focus on it and let it lead your way, that it will help you through no matter how difficult things can get. And if you find yourself in that situation where you're looking down the barrel of a disappointment and you just can't take anymore, that's when your accountability, that's when your support team, that's when your leaders can help you. Because we've all been there. We know the stories, we've had them. Give us a call if you're in those situations, but know it's going to get tough. Remember your why and let that pull you through. And here's your call to action, your month 2 marching orders. So write down your month 2 goals, choose an accountability partner, and be accountable to someone. Schedule your daily ITT activities, because if it's not scheduled, it won't happen. Review and recommit to your why. Celebrate how far you've come and continue to move forward. Prepare for week 7 advanced training. The time is now. We're super excited about you guys, each of you individually. We love you dearly. We are cheering you on, and we just want to thank you for, 1, being consistent. thank you for being the leader that you are. Thank you for continuing to grow and be inspired by what you're learning and inspire others, because your leadership is tremendous. Your growth and influence is guaranteed so long as you don't quit. Make sure to share the recording, which every one of these we record, as you know, with your leaders and teams, and we will see you next week. We are so grateful for you, all of you. We thank you so much, and we just love being on the same team with you, and anything we can do to help. We say this a lot. Please let us know.